We had, of course, the exciting NBA Finals. Congratulations to the Golden State Warriors, winning 4 out of the last 8. Congratulations to Steph Curry winning the most valuable player, and of course you had the 2 originals there, Draymond and Clay. So congratulations to the Warriors organization, and the NBA season is finally over.
I think the NBA needs to go back and reward the conference finals MVPs for all the years that they didn't do it.
I'm afraid that award was not available at the time.
But that's what I'm saying. I think they should go back and do it.
Maybe. So with that said, again, congratulations to the Golden State Warriors.
I just need LeBron to get 10 more. You know what I mean?
But that's probably not going to happen. So congratulations to them. Big win for the Yankees. I understand that you were doing a little listening party with some of the new Drake songs. I was listening to some of them. Some of them I enjoyed very much. Because I like it's a little bit of a dance thing. I kind of like that a little bit. I was enjoying a couple of the songs.
You know, people make everything so...
What now?
So, like... Oh, we have to compare this against everything he's ever done.
Listen. The guy, this is what's called an artist. And what an artist does is lots of different things. And some things you're going to love, some things you're not. But it is what it is. Very talented individual. I really don't think there's anything that you can, more than you could say. He's accomplished some incredible things, put out some tremendous music, incredibly successful. I was listening to some. I happen to like some of the songs. So with all of that said,
Chad, do you think someone came to Drake at his record label, whatever, and they were like, "Hey, make a weekend album. Make a weekend type album. We want to hear, you know what? Make like a dancey type, like." Do you think someone said that to him? Do you think this was brought up in an email? Do you think something was said? I mean, because the guy signed a $500 million fucking record deal. I'm sure he has to produce a certain amount of albums per year. I'm sure he wasn't like, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Listen, I think what's happening here is I think that what you need to understand too, there's just going to be haters. Why even bother?
Are you a little mad about Steph and Drake? Are you like, dude, fuck them?
I can't take anything away from Steph Curry and the Warriors. They absolutely played really good basketball. The Celtics are all over the place. And I'm gonna make a statement right now to everyone listening. I wasn't really gonna get too much into the basketball, but I'm watching the talent that the Celtics have. Tremendous talent on the court. Yeah. And I'm watching the undisciplined play. I'm watching the turnovers. I'm watching a game plan that makes no sense. It leaves me with one conclusion. That guy is a terrible coach. He has no business coaching that team. That's my take. They have sheer talent out there. And the amount of undisciplined play, the amount of turnovers. What was the scheme? What was the game plan?
But can you blame the coach for Tatum throwing the ball away? And
Excuse me?
Like how much can you blame the coach for?
What do you mean? There's no discipline. There's absolutely no discipline. So if we're not going to hold a coach accountable for that, what are we going to hold a coach? Then have no coach. Have no coach then. Yeah, that was an awful take. That coach is tremendous. He's amazing. Yeah, he's a tremendous coach. Yeah, that was a bad take on my part. He's a phenomenal coach. I'm sorry, I take it back. He's up there with Wooden and Pop and all the greats. Are you fucking kidding me? That team is totally out of control. Totally out of control. Look at those turnovers. Totally out of control.
I mean,
listen, here's the thing, too.
Jason Tatum had the most turnovers in a postseason
First of all,
ever.
Do yourself a fucking favor, because I'm not going to get into this because you don't know what you're talking about. Flat out, you don't know what you're talking about. If we're not going to, we hold the coach accountable for nothing. Okay, fine. They're totally out of control. The turnovers were a mess. What was the scheme, man? It was insane. It was insane when I watched. Drinking some wine.
I'm feeling good.
I'm feeling great.
That Drake album is still on my mind. I'm still like, you know what I mean? I'm still like, bro.
Listen. We're all where we need to be. We're all where we should be. We're all right now at this moment in time in the universe. We're right here, right now.
Build is on.
We're right here. Right
you know,
thank you.
I think that you get to a certain point in your career where you start to. It almost hurts you how good you are because everything you do now gets compared to that.
So let me say one thing. I'm gonna take off the headset and I'm gonna give you an example of something that you just said.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's exactly the same thing, and I don't know if it's an exact comparison. But the great Quentin Tarantino, decided that he wants to call it quits at 10 movies. And again, you're saying, what do you mean? You're making prolific movies. You're making amazing movies. You're making some of the all-time, great cinema. And he made a point of certain directors who directed amazing movies. And then towards the latter part of their career, they made some choices and they just weren't good choices. Now, I'm not saying that this, I'm not comparing this, but you're giving kind of an example. And what I'm saying is, you also don't know as an artist, have you put out your best or is the best yet to come? You just don't know as an artist. You don't know. You just don't know. But I thought that was very interesting that Quentin Tarantino made that point to say preemptively that I'm gonna stop at 10 movies, which I thought was very interesting because he's.
Is he gonna follow that though?
Well, listen, he's at 9, so yeah. He said he's going to do one more. So we'll see.
Does he have one that he's ready to make?
There's been a number of things that have been floating around, a number of things. So we'll see. 30 years, he did Reservoir Dogs in 92. So it's the 30th anniversary.
I think his worst movie was Jackie Brown. So
I that wasn't one of my favorites, although I really enjoyed it.
But it's like I'm saying that, but it's not bad.
Right. It's not one of my. The funny thing is, when I think of like my all-time like top 10 movies, he probably.
Oh no! I'm putting it above Hateful Eight actually.
So
I think Hateful Eight's below that.
my least favorite was Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
that was my
Jackie
least
Brown's
favorite.
better. Jackie Brown's better.
I got a kick out of Jackie Brown, to be honest with you, but the Hateful Eight.
But then, Death Proof. I like Death Proof.
I love
a
that
lot,
shit.
Though.
I love that.
But like as a movie though, I don't think it's better than Jackie Brown. As like a whole movie.
I happen to really like Death Proof. I got such a kick out of that. I enjoyed it so much. Anyway, I wanted to make
Glorious Bastards top 3.
First of all, if you want to talk
Django
about
top 3,
my if you look at my all-time top 10,
Pulp Fiction top 3.
I'm not gonna go. I can't even possibly do this right now. But I'm saying if you look at my top 10, I'm telling you without hesitation, in my top 10, Pulp Fiction, Django, Inglourious Bastards. And one of my all-time favorite, possibly in my top 5.
Can I guess it?
Possibly in my top 5.
Can I guess it?
Go ahead.
Kill Bill?
Bro, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh yeah. Love that movie.
That is in my top 5 of all time. I'm completely obsessed with that movie. I know why I am. I'm just such a fan of that movie. Anyway, with that said,
is it like you like the time period thing?
I grew up in the 70s.
Oh, that's like your childhood.
And I've always had this. I've always liked L.A., California, Hollywood. I've always have. And the thing is, when you look at the references and the TV shows and just all of the different the food and everything else, it just really, I can't believe what an amazing job he did. And like I said, I grew up in the 70s. I was a little kid in the 70s. So a lot of that was relevant, you know what I mean, to me? So, but anyway. All right, with that said,
let me ask you something.
Go.
Because
Go.
something like this, like a thing that happens like this with Drake, or like LeBron looks like there's a couple years left of his career. Shit like this. People that I grew up, whatever, right?
Oh yeah.
You're older.
Yeah.
What is the like? What is the? How do you cope with? Or what is the feeling of like, oh man, like this guy's like he's kind of done with what he wants to do. You know what I mean?
It's like a family member, and I so certain guys that really, I mean, I'm not going to name all of them, but certain people that affected me. Like for example, you're watching, and I was really blessed, right, to be able to watch these careers. I mean, you're talking about, and I'm not even going to go far back. I'm going to say from like the 80s. So you're talking about watching, obviously, Magic, Bird, Dr. J. Those were my guys.
Yeah.
And then the next wave after that, then you had Jordan.
Yeah.
Then you had Kobe. Then, of course, Shaq. And I watched these entire careers. My favorite career that I watched from beginning to end, and I was a little bit older, but I loved it so much. I loved Derek Jeter. I loved watching that career. I mean, the titles that he won, the championships, just a class act. By the way, there's a new documentary coming out. It's called The Captain.
Heard about that.